All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started. Good afternoon, everybody. Our topic for the marketing call today is just going to be about the power of words and how using intentional language and driving personal connection helps you build referrals, and especially over the holidays. So, as we're coming up into the holiday season, I kind of wanted to make that the theme of the call today because it's a space where we can all find ways to connect with people and continue to build our relationships. How the language that you use, especially over the holiday seasons, helps you just build connections, and it's a part of relationship building. And so I wanted that to kind of take shape and give a couple of ideas as you continue to build your relationships throughout this season here. So, why overall does language matter in our PT2 marketing? Well, it's really the threshold and the most important part of what we do. The right words really help offices immediately understand what we do. Using clear and concise and consistent phrases are really the foundation of effective referral building and marketing. I actually posted some of the phrases that we're going to be utilizing today, and I'm going to go a little bit further in depth, but why these phrases are high impact and really make a difference in layering the communication, and not just with offices. I mean, truly with any referral partner that you have in any way, shape, or form. So the first phrase I kind of wanted to discuss is that I love using the word resource. We're a resource for your office. We're a resource for your ALF. This makes PT2 feel more like support and a little bit less like a sales pitch, because it's support for their functioning office, for their functioning ALF, and giving them another resource for their patients to have great care under. Another simple, easy, effective phrase: we come to the patient. So sometimes even you'll say house call and it doesn't click right away that the only thing we do are house calls. They'll say, oh, well, where's your office? No, we actually are fully remote. I like to say we come to the patient because that instantly communicates accessibility for patients that either are homebound, they're mobility limited, or maybe they're limited based off of, how they can get in and out of offices. And so I like to say we come to the patient too, instead of saying, oh, we're for people that can't get into the clinic, because that helps build the picture that we're going to go to anyone, whether they can or can't get into a clinic, or whether they are or are not homebound. And another phrase that could really be helpful is we help remove barriers to care. This really reassures the offices that PT2 solves real life challenges: traffic, having transportation, and repeating these phrases overall at every visit is just going to help you build your trust and reassure them that you're going to be a familiar face. And familiarity is the foundation of trust. The offices are really going to be testing you to see, how frequently does this person come by and how committed are they to really holding down this relationship, and not just being something that was transactional where you stopped by a couple times, dropped cards, and maybe got a little bit discouraged by not getting a patient. Second part of this is these phrases are really going to get the offices and your referral partners, your colleagues, OTs that you work with, PTs, speech therapists, in sending you patients. Clarity is really the step one, but step two is making each referral that we want for PT2 effortless. So every visit, before you're walking in somewhere, before you're going to connect with someone, we're wanting to be asking questions and being really good at asking questions. Who's the best contact to referrals today? Oh, can I speak with Dr. So-and-so? Do they have a second for me to say hello? Do you have any patients that came in today that could actually use me? Sometimes it's a perfect place, perfect time scenario. More often than not, that actually does happen. You walk in and they're like, oh my goodness, I actually just had a patient. I was writing out an order. And how about I send this patient to you? So the more that you are accessible and available and present, the more opportunities you have to really be getting these referrals and these patients. And more so, like, keeping these questions as well as these topics and these catchphrases as simple as possible. Using things like, when you have a patient that needs PT in the home, think of me first. Don't be afraid to really ask to be put first as the best option, because you're in there, you're presenting yourself literally as the person that's going to be treating that patient. Another phrase or line that you can use: I make the referral process so easy for you. All you have to do is fax the demos and the prescription. Does that sound good to you? Or how do you typically send out referrals? Through your EMR? Do you send an email? What's the most effective and clean way for you to send an order? Because sometimes that question can turn into you getting in touch with the right person to help build your referral network. So overall, using these small, clear prompts and really being Friendly but also direct is going to help the staff identify the right patients for you. And then on the other hand, remember to send them to you. So why does this all like tie into the holiday season? Because the holidays are really the perfect time for personal connection. We see it time and time again where we really get stuck in ruts of, "Oh, how's your day going?" And kind of doing the song and the dance of leading that person that you're trying to talk to up to saying, "Well, how can I help you?" And hearing that is almost jarring because that means you've gotten to the point where it's like, oh, they're just trying to help me so they can get me out of the way. But that's not what you're trying to do. You're trying to build a relationship. So, building a relationship, yes, I'm here to help you serve your patients, but we're looking to personalize each connection that we make. So that way, as you go in, that's going to be like the last thing that's coming up on their mind. They're going to want to be asking you, "Oh, how's your kid doing?" Or, "Oh, it's the perfect weather for golf," or whatever kind of topic that you've related to them on a personal level. This time of the year just naturally invites a sense of warmth, gratitude, and conversation. Offices are obviously busy. They're still stressed like they normally are. And if anything, even more because they're trying to pack a ton of patients in with a smaller schedule. And so, how do we balance that alongside the holiday energy and always come in as like a pint-sized punch and ready to really like provide that, I don't know, that breath of fresh air that I think we all need when we're communicating with so many people on a regular basis. So it really just goes to show like a personal human moment effectively makes us stand out. And so how do we personalize our holiday visits? I mean, of course, they're getting tons of candy and all sorts of like holiday goodies, but sometimes it's the cute little Christmas card when the office goes ahead and puts all their Christmas cards up, or maybe they're Jewish and you bring something like it doesn't matter what holiday or what religion, what have you, but this is really the time and the season of expressing gratitude. And so in any way that you want to express gratitude to them for helping you build your practice, or in the mindset that they are going to help you build your practice, just because they haven't had a patient yet for you doesn't mean it's a lost cause. Sometimes offices will take months to send their first patient. Other times it's an easy and you go in and the next week you get a call already from the office, but it's not always so simple. And the reason I say all this is because personalizing these visits and getting to that point where you're really honed in, this is going to give you the permission as you go into these offices to slow down and to connect with each person you talk to on more of a deeper level. So, like, instead of jumping straight into business, things that you could be asking your practices are, do you have any holiday traditions that you're really looking forward to? That's a deep question. They're not going to just be able to be like, well, how can I help you? Like that doesn't resonate with that deep of a question. So I love getting people just outside of their traditional thought patterns and getting them into like, tell me your tradition. What do you do? Like, do you bake cookies for a fake Santa Claus? What are you doing? And then use that as a point to like, that's something deep about them that you just got to know that's really going to enhance your relationship so that as you go in there next year, because these are relationships that we have for years and years on end. And as you go back in, you can say, aren't you looking forward to making cookies this year? Or aren't you looking forward to so-and-so? Or I love that tradition. Maybe I should try to instill that within my family, or whatever the case is, finding a way to complement or to resonate with how they decide to celebrate this season. So another thing, obviously, like we want to ask questions, but sometimes people are a little bit reserved, hard around the edges, or maybe not in a space where you feel like they're willing to share that kind of stuff. And in that space, like share something small and genuine about yourself, your own family, your own plans. My kids love decorating the tree. We do like a really big family meal on Christmas Eve. I'm looking forward to making a green bean casserole that I do every year that my grandma taught me how to make, or something so cool. And then you're ending up sharing a recipe with somebody. Like, you just never know where a topic is going to lead to. And again, this season really invites those deeper conversations that sometimes get missed when we're in our day to day. I love commenting on like decorations in the offices, the festivities, the upcoming breaks. Oh my gosh, can you believe it? We finally get a couple days off. So looking forward to that. What do you have planned? And just like acknowledging that this is the season, and acknowledging this is a season for gratitude. Thank you so much for all that you do for your patients and for our community. This time of the year can be so busy, and I recognize that, but I just see you working so hard here, and I just see how much you care. And acknowledging that in people really does go a long way. And these are the moments that build they build real rapport. It's not transactional, there's depth to it. And when you're creating that depth, these people are not only going to start to like you, but they're going to trust you and feel connected to you. And when they feel connected to you, imagine what they want their patients to feel. They want them to feel the same exact thing, and they're going to be linking them up with you when the time comes that they need therapy. So, I mean, when the staff overall or any person that you're connected to, it's just like any good friend you have. When people feel seen, they're far more likely to remember you. They're far more likely to refer to you, to advocate for you, and all in all, to send patients your way. So I want to close this topic off with just mentioning like marketing works. So don't forget that. Sometimes it can be really hard. You really kind of can get down in the gutter when you're going through a rut and you're not getting all the referrals that you really anticipated you're going to get. But marketing works, it just takes time. And every office is going to be a little bit different with what that timeline looks like. So don't be discouraged. This is like a common misunderstanding where it's like, oh, well, I went there and I kept going. I dropped off cards. I did a big lunch. And it's like, but did you ever connect with them? Do they know anything about you? Do they know your name? So like really be reflective in that way and ask yourself, like, did I market to that office in a way that I feel like they got the chance to know me? And if they don't, it doesn't mean that it didn't work. It just means that you have space to really develop that relationship and use this time of the year to do it. If an office does not send a patient right away too, like, again, this doesn't mean the marketing isn't working, because that's not true at all. In reality, like, offices need multiple visits. 10 visits, sometimes 15, sometimes 20 visits, sometimes 5, sometimes 1. You just don't know what the recipe is before they truly recognize and remember what PTTU does. They may have the right patient to refer, but it might not be for weeks. It might not be for months. Maybe that right patient is the catalyst for them to start to realize that every patient is the right patient for you, because really the matter is any Medicare patient that needs therapy is the right patient for us. It's going to be really rare that we run into someone, unless they're not making progress and things of that nature that are really outside of our ability to provide care. But overall, getting your first patient from an office can absolutely take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months. So do not lose sight of this as we move into the holidays and we all get super busy and distracted with all sorts of things going on in our personal lives. Like, stay committed to what you're building. This is totally normal to have the ups, the downs, the peaks and the valleys, but consistency is what is going to build your trust. And what's consistency? You don't stop, you keep showing up. So as we move through this time and into the new year, just remember that the words that you choose and the personal connections that you build are really what inspires the offices to pick small businesses like PTTU with their patients. Marketing works. You just have to keep showing up, speak with your clarity, and let your authenticity, all the things that are about you that small shine, be authentic, be your best self, and use that and really run with it. So I hope today's topic helps. If you have any questions at all, never hesitate to call me, text me, email me. I'm here to provide any insight, any clarity, or help you build your referral network. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day.